The Fall of Constantinople. Imagine a city so strong that people believed it could never fall. A city with giant walls. A city filled with beautiful churches, busy markets, and grand palaces. A city that stood between Europe and Asia. That city was Constantinople. For more than 1,000 years, it survived wars, invasions, and powerful enemies. Many armies tried to conquer it. All of them failed. But in the year 1453, everything was about to change. A young ruler was preparing for the greatest attack the world had ever seen. His name was Mehmed, and his dream was simple. He wanted Constantinople, no matter the cost. At this time, Constantinople was still one of the most famous cities on earth. It was the capital of the Byzantine Empire. This empire was the last remaining part of the ancient Roman Empire. The city was rich in history. Its streets were filled with stories from the past. Its giant walls protected it like a stone fortress. People felt safe behind those walls. They believed they would continue to stand forever. But the empire itself was no longer strong. Years of war had weakened it. Its lands were gone. Its army was small. Its money was running out. The city still looked powerful, but underneath, it was struggling to survive. Far away, a new power was rising. The Ottoman Empire. Its leader was Sultan Mehmed II. He was only 21 years old. Many people thought he was too young. They thought he lacked experience. They were wrong. Mehmed was smart, he was patient, and he had a vision. He wanted to make history. For years, he studied Constantinople. He learned its strengths. He learned its weaknesses. He knew that conquering the city would make him one of the greatest rulers in the world. So he began preparing. Mehmed gathered a huge army. Thousands of soldiers answered his call. He also built a powerful navy. But his most dangerous weapon was something new, something terrifying. Giant cannons. These cannons were unlike anything seen before. One of them was so large that hundreds of workers were needed to move it. When it fired, the ground shook. The sound could be heard from miles away. Its stone cannonballs were powerful enough to damage even the famous walls of Constantinople. For the first time, the city's greatest defense faced a serious threat. In April of 1453, the siege began. The Ottoman army arrived outside the city. Tents covered the landscape. Flags waved in the wind. Thousands of soldiers prepared for battle. Inside Constantinople, the defenders watched from the walls. They knew they were outnumbered, but they refused to surrender. The city's emperor, Constantine XI, chose to stay and fight. Every day, the giant cannons fired. Boom, boom, boom. The walls shook, stones cracked, dust filled the air, and every night, workers rushed to repair the damage. For weeks, this battle continued. The attackers pushed forward. The defenders held their ground. Neither side was willing to give up. But Mehmed had another plan. One of Constantinople's greatest defenses was the Golden Horn. A giant chain blocked enemy ships from entering the harbor. For years, this chain had protected the city. Most people believed it was impossible to get past it. Mehmed thought differently. One night, he ordered something extraordinary. His ships would travel over land. Workers built wooden tracks. The ships were pulled across hills and forests. Then they were lowered into the water on the other side of the chain. The next morning, the people of Constantinople could not believe their eyes. Ottoman ships were inside the harbor. A defense that had protected the city for centuries had been defeated. As the siege continued, life inside the city became harder. Food grew scarce. People became tired. The sound of cannons never stopped. Still, they refused to lose hope. Churches filled with prayers. Families stayed together. Soldiers stood guard day and night. Everyone knew a final battle was coming. The question was when. The answer came on the morning of May 29th. Before sunrise, the Ottomans launched their biggest attack. Thousands of soldiers rushed toward the walls. The battle was fierce. Arrows flew through the air. Swords clashed. The noise was overwhelming. The defenders fought with incredible courage, but they were exhausted. Weeks of fighting had taken their toll. Eventually, a breach opened in the walls. Ottoman soldiers poured through. The city could no longer hold. Constantinople was falling. Emperor Constantine XI faced a choice. He could escape, or he could stay. He chose to stay. He removed the symbols of his rank, and he joined the fighting like an ordinary soldier. He fought beside his men until the very end. After that day, he was never seen again. His final moments became part of history and part of legend. When the battle ended, the city belonged to Mehmed. His dream had become reality. Constantinople had finally fallen. An empire that had survived for more than 1,000 years was gone. The Roman Empire had reached its final chapter. But history did not stop there. A new era had begun. The Ottoman Empire became one of the most powerful forces in the world. The city continued to grow and change. Over time, it became known as Istanbul. The city remained important, but its story entered a new age. Even today, the fall of Constantinople is remembered as one of history's greatest turning points. It was a story of ambition, a story of courage, a story of determination, and a reminder that even the strongest walls cannot stand forever. Because sometimes, history changes in a single day, and when it does, the world is never the same again.